Hi, this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. One of my favorite artists, definitely has to be Vincent van Gogh. And the more I study about him, the more I learn about him, the more I see his art, the more I like him. I just am fascinated by Vincent van Gogh and his art. So I wanted to sort of answer the question today is what was the impact of Vincent van Gogh on the art world? Vincent van Gogh today is considered to be one of the most famous artists that ever lived. And this is, a fascinating story from actually a man who didn't really sell any paintings in his lifetime. That, throughout his lifetime, he was sort of considered to be an artistic failure. But yet, at the same time, today he's one of the most well-known painters and artists throughout the world. Over a century of time has passed since Vincent van Gogh's time, yet his artwork remains profoundly influential and wildly celebrated globally. He is considered to be one of the greatest artists who ever lived. His art style, even though, many people have tried to mimic it, they haven't been able to exactly copy it either. He had a very unique sort of art style, the way he painted, the way he worked his art, his brush strokes, everything is actually very unique. So his art style is mimicked but not copied, which makes it really, really an interesting type of art style, which makes him a very interesting artist. His use of color, his subject matter, his form, all of these things that he did make him a unique artist. Vincent van Gogh once wrote to his brother Theo and said this about dead artists. Painters being dead and buried speak to several following generations through their works. And that is really true. That painters, having been dead, speak to other generations through their works. And Vincent van Gogh certainly did. Vincent van Gogh had a great impact on many other art movements that followed. One of them was the Expressionism art movement. Especially some of his paintings like Starry Night. The whole swirling up in the sky. That the Expressionism art movement saw that and they built upon that. That's why many even consider Vincent van Gogh to be the father of Expressionism because of the nature and the type of work that he did. He had an impact on other art movements such as Fauvism. The way he used colors and the way he combined colors. Today we take a lot of that for granted. His color combinations and how we use colors and how we use forms and the things that he was influenced by, such as really the Japanese artists, that he was, highly influenced by the Japanese woodblock prints. A lot of that today we take it for granted because many artists are painting like him or painting similar to him. But during his lifetime, this was a very unique form of art that he was doing. Using bright colors instead of the soft colors which the Expressionism used. You're using a lot of yellow. I'm a great fan of yellow. I use a lot of yellow in my own artwork. Vincent van Gogh used a lot of yellows, used a lot of blues. He used, a lot of those sort of brighter colors, which was very, sort of unusual for his time compared to what was popular at the time, which was a lot of, the Expressionism art, which is more muted, more soft. So, Vincent van Gogh really, really broke away from art as we knew it during its time form. So if you'd like to be able to read more and also read 10 reasons why I absolutely love Vincent van Gogh, we have a blog post that we've written called What Was the Impact of Vincent van Gogh in the Art World? And you go on and you can see some of the impact that Vincent van Gogh had upon the art world and why he is still today considered to be one of the greatest artists that ever lived. If you go on to something like Google and you look at who's searching for what artist, it's interesting. The two names which always come up are Leonardo da Vinci and Vincent van Gogh. And so that puts him right up there with the top 1, 2, or 3 great artists who ever lived that people are still interested in today and are still inspired by today. This is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Thank you so much for listening, spending 5 minutes with us each week to be able to learn more about art. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We hope that you've enjoyed this podcast. If so, give us a thumbs up. Tell others about us. Join our community. We'd love to have you be part with us. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for our team. Specifically, Rico helps make this possible and helps us get these messages and the love of art out into the world. Thank you.